What's up, everybody? Clearance Aisle back, and today I've got something a little different for you. I've got some Blackout console gameplay. Now, you know me as mostly a Fortnite player, and Fortnite was my first ever Battle Royale game, but I played the Blackout beta and enjoyed it so much that I decided to go for it, purchase the full game. I do come from pretty much a COD background. That's where I got my start in shooters, like I'm sure a lot of people did. So when COD came out with a Battle Royale game, I knew I had to pick it up. So for my first video, I've got a victory for you guys, just like a lot of my other videos where I just walk you through what I'm thinking that led me to the victory. But for this first video, I'm going to give just a little bit of my opinion, kind of how I'm feeling about the game, some of the tips that I have. And I am by no means, an expert at this. I've only played, I think, about 25 games since it's been out. But, there's definitely some things I've picked up on, some things that you other console players, might be able to help you out in your next game. So I dropped here on Asylum, and for my first little tip, let's just talk about the drop. There's this really great technique that I picked up. I think I saw it on someone else's stream, but basically you can jump out of the helicopter. You can nosedive straight down until you hit about 70 miles an hour, and you'll see it on the right-hand side of your screen in your altimeter. Once you hit 70, you can level out, and that will actually, put your body completely horizontal, and that will actually let you maintain about like 64 to 68 miles an hour, and it allows you to really glide pretty much anywhere on the map. I don't think there's been a place that I haven't been able to get to by, dropping down, nosediving, hitting that 70 miles an hour, and then tilting up and gliding to where I want to go. Looting up, and I hear some footsteps, and I've got this LMG. I guess it would be an LMG that I used to get the elimination on this guy. I've really only seen the LMG drop here on Asylum, and we're going to talk about some Asylum drops here in a second, but I want to show you something real quick. So one feature that I haven't seen talked about a lot is you'll see that my cursor is hovered over this vapor, and if I hold X, it will drop and detach. So what that means is the gun will fall on the ground and all of the attachments will scatter across the ground. Now that's good because I have just found a KN-57 in the bag of this enemy I just eliminated, and I want to put all of these attachments that I found, some great attachments, I want to put them on the KN-57, but there's not really an easy way to do that. You can see down below my weapon, below the weapon attachments in my inventory, that I haven't even picked up a backpack yet, although I will in a second, but I don't even have a place to put all of these attachments. So basically, I'm going to drop the weapon, all the attachments, pick up the KN-57, then I can scoop up all the attachments really quick with some quick presses of X and get everything I want on the gun that I want. Alright, so about the Asylum drop. Why did I drop Asylum? Asylum is one of the spots on the map where zombies spawn. It's in the Asylum, and I believe as well in the graveyard next to the Asylum. But it's basically a spot where zombies can spawn. You kill the zombies, and if you kill all of the zombies that spawn, it will spawn a mystery box. Now, if you're not familiar with the mystery box, it's a mechanic from COD Zombies that usually in Zombies, when it spawns, you can pay and it will generate a random weapon for you. But in Blackout, it will actually generate a handful of things for you. It can be level 3 armor, a really nice sniper, med kits, trauma kits, things like that. Or it might be not that great a loot, but most of the time it's going to be good loot. So drop Asylum if you want a chance at better loot. It's one of the rare times in a Battle Royale that dropping in a certain place can actually net you better loot than dropping anywhere else. It's not as RNG. And I'm no expert at this mystery box situation, so it may be a little different, but I'm pretty sure you just kill all the zombies, the mystery box spawns. It does happen in this game. I've had it in another game where I don't think it spawned in the exact same location though. So be on the lookout for that, and if you know how it works, just leave a comment below or tweet at me, clearanceaisle_, and let me know how it works. Another great thing about Asylum and these zombies are that the zombies themselves will drop some pretty decent loot when you kill them. They'll drop in dead silence perks only, med kits, grenades, Molotovs, and things like that. I'm still rocking this LMG that I have only really seen here at the Asylum, and it works really well for me. here in this game. I don't typically take LMGs to the late game with me though. I kind of only tend to hold on to them in the early game until I find a sniper or some sort of DMR, some sort of marksman rifle that I can do some, high burst headshot damage with. I heard somebody rub up against this chain link fence, makes a pretty distinct sound, so I knew there was another player nearby. Pull out that LMG again. It's got some, pretty high caliber rounds in it too. And then I finish him off with that KN57. And that KN57 has probably been my go-to AR. It seems to have that good balance of damage and handling. You got the ICR, which does a little bit lower damage, but it's basically like a laser beam. And then the other weapon I really like is the Rampart. It does pretty high damage, but it's got a slower fire rate. So I find that the KN57 has that nice balance in between those two. I ended up using the Looter perk to find the mystery box, but by the time this was my first time finding it, and by the time I found it, it actually despawned. So it does look like there is, sort of a maximum amount of time that the mystery box can exist. You got to get the loot in before it despawns. So now I've moved on from Asylum, headed to the east-southeast. I think I ran through the graveyard. I spot this player running right to left. One of the things that I'll mention that I'm not super impressed with in Blackout right now, and I'm sure they'll fix it, is the footstep audio. When I first heard this guy, it was really hard to tell how far away he was. Now, I definitely knew he was there. I knew the general direction that he was in, but it was really hard to gauge if he was right on top of me or he was really far away from me. So with that said, I would definitely say that two of the best perks in the game are Awareness and Dead Silence. Awareness lets you hear enemies from further away, and Dead Silence almost nearly mutes your footsteps to yourself and to the enemies. Now this is just a situation where I heard this guy come in. I have Dead Silence on, so I'm not sure if he was able to hear me, but I picked up the LMG, the Titan. I did not or have not yet found a sniper or DMR, so decided to go with this LMG as decently stable and able to put some good damage out. Also, the storm is collapsing. I think they call it collapse is imminent. So I didn't want to go hang out and try to loot him. Although I do have a bunch of med kits and first aids. I had taken a trauma kit, and a trauma kit allows you to go over the maximum 150 health, 150 HP up to 200. So I'm at 177, so there's no way with what I've got that I'm going to get back over 150. So instead of looting him and med-kitting out of there, I just decided to stay out of the collapsing storm and just move on. So I got to the new zone and not really happy with my position right now. I've had to move pretty far onto this bridge that has put me out in the open, really exposed. There's only 6 other players left, but this is a game obviously that you can't create your own cover in like Fortnite, so you've got to be a lot more tactical, a lot more strategic about your position. And any of you who have watched me before, you know that a lot of my strategy, a lot of my wins come from good positioning, just knowing where to put myself and when to go to that spot. So right now I'm thinking that the circle, the new zone's probably not going to be on me in this next round. I want to be a little proactive here and try and get across this bridge. You see me look down. I heard some footsteps, another one of these weird audio issues. I swear it sounded like there was a guy right next to me, but I think he was just way down low by all that equipment. I do spot another guy though on the other side of this building, and I used the 9 bangs, which is probably the most overpowered I think it's called gear that you can use. It's like a flashbang and a concussion grenade built into one, but you can actually cook them. You'll see these 3 little rectangular little angled rectangular squares pop up, and if you cook it by just holding down RB, it actually intensifies the effect of the 9 bang. So if you throw it out real quick, it's just going to kind of do one little burst of flash. You can hold it down for 2 or 3 clicks, and that will give you a more prominent effect. And it is, if you hold it down for all 3, it is probably overpowered. I think a lot of people have come to the consensus that that Night Bang is pretty overpowered. So I don't think it was super effective on that guy, but either way, it's definitely something that you want to pick up. Now, you saw me messing with my inventory there. I was just dropping stuff out of my inventory, stuff that I knew I wasn't going to need. And that's because I've got this guy's bag sitting right outside. And if he's got a bunch of stuff that I need, like more gear, more 9-bangs, if he's got trauma kits, more med kits, grappler hooks, things like that, I don't want to have to get stuck in that situation where I've got to drop something while I'm totally exposed and looting this bag. So I went ahead and dropped some items and got ready for the loot. I end up skipping over that enemy's bag. I just felt way too exposed for there to be 4 people left in such a small new zone. No way to get over these fences here, by the way, unless there's a break in it. And I didn't want to run all the way over to the right side. And even though I would have I think I would have been safe in that shack I was in, I just felt very vulnerable. I felt like, one grenade into either one of those windows just put me in a position where I felt like I was just going to get stuck. And I didn't really hear any action, so I figured everybody was holed up in one of these 2 office buildings. I'd actually seen a guy run from one building to the other and put some shots on him, but wasn't able to do a whole lot of damage. And in Blackout, especially in these office buildings late game, I'm fully expecting there to be some people camping out. So I'm going to be the aggressor here, and I'm going to, just charge room to room. I end up finding this guy who's, holed up in that corner over there. I don't think I was as ready as I should have been. I got a little too confident that this top floor had been secured, but I was able to pick up that kill. Now, he took my armor totally away, but he did have a trauma kit. So I just want to be a little bit more aware that, I don't have any armor to stop any extra damage. I heard a grenade go off when I was looting. I come down these stairs and I still see that grenade spot smoking on the ground. But right when I come to the bottom of the stairs, I heard some footsteps to my left and was able to turn around and get the kill on that guy. Pretty sure he was weak from whatever that fight he was just in, but he definitely made a mistake by shuffling around. I think I would have peeked outside of that door if I hadn't heard his footsteps, and he actually might have been able to pick up the win. But things work out in my favor, and I'm able to grab a victory. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do plan on doing some more Blackout videos, especially for console players. So if you think that's something you'll like, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time.